Hey, thanks for your email. I've had a bunch of people actually reach out and sort of mention the same thing, talking about, they thought this pricing calculator was really to show up on a job and plug in some information. It was going to give the perfect price for a tree. And, in talking with all those people and talking about the bigger pictures, there isn't always such a thing as a dollar for a tree, right? Because everybody has a different type of business and everybody has different costs. Sure, there might be a market rate, but that market rate is on a spectrum of, cheaper to more expensive. And, the real value of this tree service pricing calculator is more to give you a framework where you could think about your equipment that you have today or that you may not have today, but you would like to have, and give you the ability to think about those costs so you can build them into your price, to what your price should be. So if you don't have a crane or if you don't have a lift, and if you did have it and it would save you, a day's work or 2 days work, but then you'd have to pay for that piece of equipment, and then you have the cost of that. So that's the exchange of, the time that you'd have to spend for 3 days. So in many ways, figuring the cost of the equipment that it should take to do the job, if you were doing it with all the equipment you wanted to have, still would be your best price to put into it. And then if you think about the workers that you would want or you might have on a given crew on a high level, it allows you to incorporate the expenses again on a high level to make sure that all of your pricing that you're doing with your unique business always guarantees you the profit. Because it's really difficult to know, here's this tree with this access and I need this type of equipment and it might be dying and I don't know how safe it is and there's so many unique circumstances, but there's a safety that mechanism we can fall on that if I know my overhead, my direct costs, I can build it into an hourly rate that if I charge this amount, there's definitely enough profit for the guys and for the equipment. Even if I don't have it yet, I'm billing to get that equipment, so to speak. And there's also enough money left for me. So I'm not always chasing a few bucks of profit, a few bucks of profit, a few bucks of profit, and not getting ahead. So yeah, that's really the talking point, is that build the job in the way that you think it should be built with the right amount of guys and the right equipment if you could have it that way. And the profit will be built in to get you going and get you growing on your growth in your business. So, I challenge you and I challenge everyone to work backwards with this. If I were this size company that I really want to be at and I want to have this type of equipment and this amount of guys, what's that cost? And I'm going to bill at that rate so I can get to that size. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for reaching out.